Hello everyone, it's Attacker72 here, and for today. So, Team Sonic nowadays is consistent of just Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, and for a good while in the Renaissance era, it's been emphasized a bit more when it comes to Team Sonic, now pretty much consistent of the four characters we now know and love. Heck, it was way more apparent in Sonic Boom, but there really wasn't that much of a consistent Team Sonic. Usually you have things like Sonic and Tails, then it went to Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, then Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, then back to Sonic and Tails, so on and so forth. But I am glad that we now have a more consistent team in terms of the modern era. However, would you believe me when I say that there was at one point a fifth member that at one point, if anything, was kind of like a fifth member to the Team Sonic as we know now. A character who, despite very rarely appearing, is a character that I feel like was a fit-in version of what is considered to be the actual main cast of Sonic members. And honestly, that character would be none other than Cream the Rabbit. Cream the Rabbit, as of lately, has been making pretty low appearances in terms of games. Yeah, you may have got some things like Sonic Generations and even Sonic Dream Team, which was which marks Cream's very first major role in a long time, but even still, Cream is a character that still rarely makes any appearances in Sonic's adventures and the games that he stars in. But really, what exactly was happening with Cream the Rabbit? What really led to this character that was once, if anything, a member of Team Sonic, now suddenly delegated to a simple background-ish character? Well, just like in my past Sonic video essays where I talked about Mephiles and Infinite, I will be pretty much going through over the history, or more so a abridged history of Cream the Rabbit and what kind of led to her, low appearances and what they could likely do with Cream the Rabbit in the future if they decide to have any more plans with her. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and let's get started with Cream the Rabbit, who I would consider to be the fifth Sonic member. So first off, her first appearance was in Sonic Advance 2 for the Game Boy Advance, where in this plot, she was momentarily kidnapped by Eggman, but was eventually rescued by Sonic. Thereon, the story would now consist of 5 playable characters, where Cream the Rabbit is one of them. Afterwards, the rest of the story is mostly Sonic trying to save Vanilla, being Cream's mom, and after Sonic Advance 2, Cream the Rabbit would then make more consistent appearance as a recurring character in the franchise. She would appear as one of the main members of Team Rose alongside Amy and Big in Sonic Heroes, and even Sonic to Free Riders alongside Amy and Vector for some reason. And then she would also be one of the major playable characters in Sonic Battle, where she plays a role with Emerald. Heck, what I would say solidifies her appearance as a main fifth Sonic member was her appearance in Sonic X. The anime has Cream play a big role in some episodes where she kind of plays a pretty supporting role, but would have some pretty interesting moments with characters and interactions, like Emerald, for example. That was one of the biggest highlights of Cream's character, and really her and Amy both act like sisters really gives a nice consistent to the character's dynamics. It really adds a lot of flair and interesting dynamics between what Team Sonic really is. And I really like to see what Cream would have to offer to the team, and especially through adventures. However, things started to change a lot when Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 released. And when Sonic 06 released, let's just say that not only did this game affected the series for a good while, damaging this game's reputation, it also affected the game's cast members, including Cream the Rabbit. Afterwards, Cream the Rabbit, alongside with Sonic's friends, had rarely made any more appearances afterwards. Sure, she occasionally appears in some games and even in Sonic spin-offs, but overall, it was mostly just Sonic, Tails, and occasionally Knuckles and Amy, but overall, it was just the main character for a good chunk of Sonic's lifetime until the 2010s. She rarely appears in any Sonic spin-offs or even games that even include Sonic characters. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games didn't even have Cream as a playable character, and the only time she ever was a playable character was in Sonic at the Olympic Games 2016, and that was only the 3DS version. However, in 2011, Cream the Rabbit would then appear once more in Sonic Generations in Sonic's birthday party. Unfortunately, just like Sonic's other friends, she doesn't really get to do much and is mostly just there to stand around and kind of just do nothing. And then after Sonic Generations, Cream just kind of disappeared. Like afterwards, Cream kind of just made less appearances in games, especially titles like Sonic Boom, Sonic Lost World, and just a few others. And heck, I mean, Rouge the Bat was at one point a fifth member technically in Sonic Prime, and she even made that appearance in Sonic Dream Team. I don't know why Sega and Team Sonic is pushing Rouge to be some type of like main cast member, even though I feel like she feels more fitted with Team Dark. Heck, in Team Sonic Racing, which released for the Nintendo Switch in 2019, there was pretty much consistent teams, but also includes Team Rose, which has Amy and Big the Cat, but weirdly enough, there's no Cream the Rabbit. Instead, they just decided to put the Chao, like these four Chaos in a cart, and that's about it. I mean, that's like the equivalent to having, I don't know, a Mario Kart game, but you have no Peach or Daisy, but have like 5 Goombas in the cart instead. Now saying that out loud, that actually does sound pretty cool. I do hope they added that in like the next Mario Kart game, but I'm pretty much off topic. What I'm saying is that having these Chows be in this game, but not Cream the Rabbit, who also has a Chow named Cheese, it not being playable in this in a game that's consistent of team races just feels kind of off, to be honest. Now, there is sort of a reason to why Cream the Rabbit has been making less prominent appearances in Sonic titles as of lately, and it comes down to this one major reason that I would mostly find an excuse and kind of contradicts a lot to what the Sonic series is all about, and that's the fact that according to Sega, or at least in some Sonic media, where it's the fact that Cream rarely appears in Sonic's adventures nowadays, and that's the fact that she's too young to be in the battlefield and to fight against bad guys, which I gotta say, that is a really bad excuse. Because how can you really say that Cream is too young to fight in some type of battlefield when you got Tails, who is straight up 2 years older than Cream, and yet he still is able to go on Sonic's adventures? I mean, you can give the excuse to the fact that Tails is a genius, which, okay, that does make sense in some cases, but then there's also Charmy, who is literally the same age as Cream, and you know what's crazy? He was part of the Resistance in Sonic Forces, and yet Cream wasn't. I don't see the reason to why they say that Cream is too young to fight on and go on adventures when you have Tails and Charmy right in front of you. Heck, what's even more mind-boggling is that in the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, there was at one point in development that Cream the Rabbit was supposed to make an appearance, which, I mean, not having her appeared in Sonic in this specific Sonic game is so bad because this is supposed to be revolving around Amy's birthday, and I feel like her inviting her friends would make a lot of sense, but not inviting Cream, who is literally like one of her best friends and pretty much treats her like a little sister, not being in this game is actually not really a good idea on their case. Like, it's weird how they actually had Cream planned to be in this game, but decided not to because according to them, she would be too young to be in like a murder mystery situation, which, okay, just like the Sonic Forces or even the Tails and Charmy situation, that excuse is also bad because the whole premise of this game is that one, it's an April Fool's game, and second, it's a murder mystery party. Emphasis on the party. I'm pretty sure she would have honestly have fun to play pretend that she was some type of murder, she was like, you know, in some type of murder mystery situation. It would be pretty gold dynamic. It would be really gold when it comes to interactions, and it's a shame that she did not appear in this small April Fool's game, but yet we got like Vector and Espio, I guess. Because the thing about Cream is that she kicks ass. Like, she genuinely can fight for herself, and it shows. She was shown to be fight and can talk some sass every once in a while. Sonic Heroes is, if not a good example of Cream being more than just a helpless civilian, because if she was like some defenseless child, I could honestly see why she doesn't go on adventures, but as the examples I've shown, especially since her first appearance in Sonic Advance 2, she is shown to fight for herself, and even in the comics, Cream is shown to be more of a character than just her being a defenseless child who feels helpless. And that's kind of the thing I want to mention. See, if they wanted to bring Cream back at some point in Sonic titles, then the way I could see it is that have her be playable in some occasions, and whenever the role or situation is not right, or especially in serious Sonic situations, then maybe have her step aside for a brief moment. And the one thing I do want to say regarding about Cream's situation is that while she can still still fight for herself. In a way, she has a bit of that type of, she is, if not like the most civilian type Sonic character in the entire cast, especially with her and, you know, her mother as well. So I can see why they wanted to make her appearances prominent. But one thing's for certain is that they do try to bring Cream back in some occasions. Sonic Dream Team was the first ever Sonic title to actually have Cream play a major role in over a decade, and even then, that game was locked behind a Apple Arcade exclusive, which I'm not gonna pay a subscription just to play a Sonic title that barely anybody knows. Cream does make an appearance, which does make this game a bit more forgivable, where she does have a big role in this, but. So you can see that Sega and Sonic Team did not forget about Cream. I think they just needed some time to figure out and adjust of what they have to do with her in future Sonic titles. But overall, really, whatever they have in store for Sonic, for the Sonic characters, because last year they gave an introduction to Shadow's character and what he really is than just a simple edgelord character. And if they decide to do more characters, like maybe not like equivalent to the Year of Shadow, like big character appearances like Silver, Blaze, and maybe Cream the Rabbit, that could see her being more of a prominent Sonic character again, and maybe have her be part of the main Sonic cast like she once was in Sonic Advance 2. But overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this pretty interesting character essay about Cream the Rabbit. It's great to see that Team Sonic is now pretty much coming out of their dark era and is now bringing back characters that we all know and love be more of a prominent role as they used to be. And I do hope they give more of the spotlight to other characters. Shadow was a good example of bringing characters back to the spotlight than what they initially were in the 2010s. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And so with that, leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more videos, follow my Twitter. I'll see you guys next time. And remember this, once a legend, always a legend.